2025 Cannes Film Festival once again took the global spotlight. But this year, among the sea of international celebrities and world-class filmmakers, one name stood out and stole the world's attention. Chae Soo-bin, the South Korean actress, didn't just shine on the red carpet. She moved audiences with her presence. Her appearance this year wasn't just a celebrity moment. It was the physical embodiment of a dream turned into reality. Wearing a pearl-white gown designed by renowned Korean designer Han Eugene, Chae Soo-bin walked the most prestigious red carpet in cinematic history with quiet grace and unwavering confidence. Delicate sakura floral accents adorned the hem of her dress, flowing behind her steps as if time itself bowed in respect. Journalists from Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Variety scrambled to capture the rare moment. "This is the moment of the night," *, declared a French fashion editor, snapping a photo as Chae Soo-bin offered a gentle, radiant smile in front of hundreds of flashing cameras. But her appearance at Cannes was more than just a visual symbol. Chae Soo-bin arrived as the lead actress in the Korean film Silent Horizon, a deeply emotional masterpiece that earned a spot in the prestigious Uncertain Regards section of the festival. The film, directed by the acclaimed Park Jin-woo, explores psychological trauma and humanity in the aftermath of conflict. In the story, Chae Soo-bin portrays Yoon Seo-hwa, a war survivor searching for meaning amid the rubble and haunting memories of her past. Her performance, subtle yet intense, strong yet fragile, left critics in awe. The Hollywood Reporter praised her as one of the finest performances by an Asian actress in the past decade. Screen Daily wrote, "Chae Soo-bin doesn't just act, she becomes. She delivers trauma without words, and hope with nothing but a gaze." One of the most emotional moments occurred during the film's premiere at the Palais de Festivals. After the final scene faded to black, the cinema fell into a sacred silence, then erupted into a 6-minute standing ovation. Amid the thunderous applause, Chae Soo-bin took to the stage and delivered a short, poignant speech. "I'm just a girl from South Korea with a big dream. For years, I dreamed of being here. But today, I stand not just for myself, but for everyone who believes that art can transcend borders." Her humble yet powerful words quickly went viral. Within 24 hours, the hashtag Chae Soobin Cannes 2025 trended at #1 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Her speech was viewed over 25 million times in just 2 days. Fans, calling themselves Soobini, held virtual watch parties, edited red carpet clips, and created fan art that spread across digital platforms. It wasn't just fans who were moved. Celebrities and fellow actors from around the world voiced their admiration. Hollywood actor Timothée Chalamet called her *, a luminous soul with rare grace. Director Bong Joon-ho congratulated her via a video call shared by Chae Soo-bin's agency. Behind the glamour of Cannes lies a deeper story, one of growth, perseverance, and self-belief. Chae Soo-bin isn't an overnight success. She began her career with small roles in television, slowly building her credibility through high-quality projects, steadily climbing the ladder until she stood on one of the biggest stages in world cinema. This moment affirms that Cannes is not just a platform for big films, it's also fertile ground for those who dare to dream and love the process. A manifestation once whispered in prayers and scribbled silently in a journal is now glowing on the world's silver screen. And perhaps this is just the beginning, because Chae Soo-bin has proven one important truth, that dreams, when pursued with love and dedication, not only come true, but can touch the hearts of the world. Following that magical night in Cannes, the world couldn't stop talking about Chae Soo-bin, not just as a film star, but as a symbol of perseverance and unyielding dreams. Exclusive interviews poured in from top media like BBC Culture, The New York Times, and Le Monde. Everyone wanted to know, who is the woman behind the warm smile and storytelling eyes? In one of the interviews, Chae Soo-bin shared a heartfelt memory of how she once wrote the words, "I want to go to Cannes," on a small sticky note and pinned it to the wall of her college dorm when she was still a student majoring in acting. "I didn't know how I would get there, but I knew I had to believe," she said with a soft smile. That note, its color now slightly faded, remains with her to this day. Its meaning never diminished. Director Park Jin-woo revealed that from the very first casting session, he sensed something extraordinary in her. She walked in with calmness, but when the camera rolled, she became a storm. There's a depth in her that's hard to explain with words. She doesn't read the script. She feels it. Asterisk. The success of Silent Horizon can open doors wide for her international career. Several major production houses reportedly reached out, including ones from Europe and the US. Netflix Global and A24 were said to be eyeing her for upcoming original projects. Rumors even emerged that she's on the shortlist to star in the film adaptation of the Japanese bestseller Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage, to be directed by an Oscar-winning filmmaker. But amid all the global spotlight, Chae Soo-bin remains grounded. Just days after the festival, she returned to Korea, smiling warmly as she greeted fans at Incheon Airport. "I just want to go home and eat my mom's seaweed soup," asterisk, she told reporters with a laugh. That simple sentiment showed the world that behind the international celebrity is still the same woman. One who loves her family, her craft, and a life filled with meaning. On social media, Soobini fans left thousands of touching messages. "We grew with you, Soo-bin. Thank you for representing our small dreams that were once called impossible," asterisk wrote one fan from the Philippines. Many shared how Chae Soo-bin's story had become a beacon of hope for young creatives around the world. A few weeks later, Chae Soo-bin found herself once again in a small theater rehearsal room in Seoul. No spotlights, no gowns, just a quiet space, a wooden stage, and a worn-out script in her hands. This, she says, is where she feels most alive. Back at her roots where she first fell in love with acting. "I never want to forget the nervousness I felt the first time I stood on a small stage," asterisk, she said in a short documentary released by her agency. The film chronicled her emotional journey, from university theater rehearsals to receiving standing ovations at Cannes. Shortly after the festival, Chae Soo-bin was announced as the new global ambassador for a prestigious French fashion house, previously represented only by stars like Cate Blanchett and Zendaya. But more than a symbol of luxury, her presence in the campaign carried a message of diversity and inclusivity in the global fashion industry. Even in activism, her voice is beginning to echo. She recently lent her support to Artists for Peace, a movement raising funds for post-war rehabilitation through art and education programs. "I feel a responsibility because I once portrayed a survivor, and that role changed the way I see the world," asterisk, she said in an interview with UNICEF Korea.